Did you know that there was a time when the Emperor of Japan was controlled by a rogue class of military leaders? For over 700 years, Japan was dominated by the Shoguns, powerful warlords who wielded absolute control over the Samurai and Daimyo. How did these military dictators rise to power and reshape an entire nation? Just like in the FX series Shogun, where Lord Toranaga becomes the most powerful man in Japan. This is the truth behind the rise of the real Shogun, or how rogue samurai usurped the emperor's power. But first, let's go back to the late 12th century, when Japan was a land in chaos. Warlords were constantly battling for power, and the emperor, once the supreme ruler, was losing control. Amid this turmoil, a new kind of leader emerged, the shogun. Unlike the emperor, the shogun was a military commander who eventually took political control. This dramatic shift began with Minamoto Yoritomo, who established the first shogunate in Kamakura in 1192. Yoritomo's journey to power was filled with intrigue and warfare. He forged clever alliances and demonstrated incredible military skill, eventually defeating the powerful Taira clan in the Genpei War. By creating the Kamakura Shogunate, he set up a system where military strength was more important than imperial authority. The emperor remained in Kyoto as a figurehead, but the real power was in the hands of the shogun. But who was this amazing Minamoto Yoritomo? Born in 1147, he was a member of the influential Minamoto clan. His rise to power wasn't easy. He was even exiled by the rival Taira clan. Yet Yoritomo managed to rally his clan and other discontented samurai. His leadership in the Genpei War was crucial, leading to his position as shogun. This victory not only ended the Taira clan's dominance, but also marked the start of a new era in Japanese politics. So what was life under the shogunate really like? Life under the shogunate was all about strict social classes. At the top were the ruling elite, like the shogun and daimyo, who had all the power. Next were the warriors, the samurai and their subordinates, who had serious power. Below them were the peasants, artisans, and merchants, each playing a crucial role in keeping society running smoothly. The samurai were the heart of the shogunate's military power. These warriors were known for their fierce loyalty and fighting skills. They served their daimyo, who in turn pledged loyalty to the shogun. This setup created a clear chain of command. But samurai weren't just fighters. They also managed lands given to them by their lords and had a big influence on daily life in Japan. Peasants made up most of the population. They were responsible for producing food and other essential goods. Farmers, the top rank among peasants, provided rice, Japan's main food source. Artisans crafted tools and everyday items, while merchants, despite being looked down upon, were vital for trade and the economy. This clear social order made sure everyone knew their place and duties, helping to keep the shogunate stable. That brings us to the Ashikaga Shogunate. After the Kamakura Shogunate fell apart in 1333, Ashikaga Takauji stepped up and created the Ashikaga Shogunate in 1338, based in Kyoto. But things weren't easy for them. Powerful warlords known as daimyo began to operate more independently. By the 16th century, these daimyo had become so strong that they started to weaken the shogunate's control. The Ashikaga Shogunate faced serious problems, like internal conflicts and the rise of these powerful regional lords. One major event was the Onin War, 1467 to 1477, which devastated Kyoto and shattered central authority. This chaos plunged Japan into the Sengoku period, or the Warring States period, where daimyo constantly fought for power, creating endless conflict and instability. This turbulent time eventually paved the way for the Tokugawa Shogunate, which would bring the much-needed stability Japan was craving. But that also brought the next important period in the history of Japan. In 1600, Tokugawa Ieyasu won the Battle of Sekigahara, a key conflict that solidified his control over Japan. Just 3 years later, he became the shogun, starting the Tokugawa Shogunate. This era, called the Edo period, brought over 250 years of peace and stability to Japan. Tokugawa Ieyasu's rise was thanks to his strategic genius and determination. Born in 1543, Ieyasu faced many challenges, including being taken hostage by rival clans as a child. These tough experiences sharpened his political and military skills. He formed crucial alliances with powerful warlords Oda Nobunaga and Toyotomi Hideyoshi. After Nobunaga was assassinated and Hideyoshi died, Ieyasu saw his chance and took control, culminating in his victory at Sekigahara. The Tokugawa Shogunate was marked by strict social order and isolationist policies. Ieyasu centralized power, controlled the daimyo, and enforced a rigid class system. The emperor stayed in Kyoto as a ceremonial figure, while the shogun ruled from Edo, now known as Tokyo. To keep control, the Tokugawa Shogunate used the Sankin Kotai system. This policy required daimyo to spend every other year in Edo, keeping them under the shogun's close watch. Their families had to stay in Edo as hostages, ensuring the daimyo's loyalty and preventing rebellion. This system not only strengthened the shogun's power but also boosted economic growth, as daimyo spent significant resources on their travels and stay in Edo, helping trade and commerce thrive. But what was the cultural and economic impact of the Tokugawa Shogunate? Under the Tokugawa Shogunate, Japan saw amazing cultural and economic growth. They kept tight control over key resources and trade routes, which helped ensure a steady flow of goods and boosted economic growth. By monopolizing foreign trade and enforcing a strict class system, the shogunate maintained internal stability. With peace lasting for centuries, arts and culture thrived. Ukiyo-e, those beautiful woodblock prints, became popular, showing scenes of daily life, landscapes, and kabuki theater. The tea ceremony, flower arranging, and no theater also blossomed during this time. The economy was strong thanks to the stability the shogunate provided. Agriculture, especially rice production, was the backbone of the economy. The shogunate's control over resources and trade routes kept goods flowing steadily. Cities grew, with Edo becoming one of the world's largest cities by the 18th century. Merchants, though not highly regarded socially, played a key role in economic success, often lending money to samurai and daimyo. Even with this rigid social structure, there was some room for social mobility. Samurai could gain prestige and wealth through military and administrative roles. Merchants, starting at the bottom, could still get significant wealth and influence, showing that even in a strict society, there were opportunities to rise. So how did they end up losing all their power and control? Despite ruling for a long time, the Tokugawa Shogunate eventually faced big challenges that led to its fall. By the mid-19th century, Western powers were pressuring Japan to open up for trade. In 1853, Commodore Matthew Perry's fleet arrived and forced Japan to end its isolation. This kicked off the Bakumatsu period, a time of growing unrest among the samurai and daimyo. Economic troubles and new Western ideas made people want change. The Tozama daimyo, who had once fought against the Tokugawa, played a major role in the push to restore imperial power. In 1868, the Meiji Restoration ended the shogunate. The last shogun, Tokugawa Yoshinobu, stepped down and power returned to Emperor Meiji. This started a new era of modernization and centralization, transforming Japan from a feudal society into a modern state. The Meiji Restoration was a turning point, leading to rapid industrialization and the adoption of Western technology. This period saw the dissolution of the samurai class, the introduction of a conscripted army, land reforms, and a new education system, transforming Japan from a feudal society into a more Western-style state. The fall of the Tokugawa Shogunate also meant the end of the strict class system. Former samurai became bureaucrats, educators, and industrialists, helping Japan modernize. The economic policies of the shogunate, which had promoted stability and growth, laid the groundwork for Japan's rise as a global power. The rise of the shogun completely transformed Japan's political scene, shifting power from the emperor to military leaders. This era brought stability and order, but it also made society more rigid. When we look back at this crucial time, we see how a few powerful leaders managed to change the course of history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click on the next one for more crazy stories from history that you've never heard about.